Hi, I'm Nancy Flinchbaugh, and I want to welcome you to the MAMs Book Club Study Guide video. The Magnificent and Marvelous Book Club are a fictitious group of ladies who star in my novels. The books they read take them on real-life adventures. When I wrote my first book, one of my friends said, "Nancy, I want to be in a group like the MAMs." And so I created the MAMs Book Club Springfield. Each month, we read a book, and I create a study guide where each of the fictitious MAMs comment on the book as well as myself. You can find over 90 books that we've reviewed together at my website at spiritualseedlings.com. So today, this is a video version of the MAMs Book Club study guide for Night's Fall, a novel, urban fantasy novel by Angela Henry. And on the study guide, you'll find basic information, the title of the book, of course, the author, when it was published and by whom, and also contact information for the author, her website, Facebook page, other information. So The Night's Fall is about Xavier Knight, who used to be an angel. These days, he's wingless, earthbound, and working as a detective in New Orleans. Not a bad thing as long as he steers clear of Lucifer's bounty hunters. The beignets remind him of heaven, and he's made a friend. But just as he's getting the whole thing down, being immortal, his old life comes back to bite him in the ass. So first of all, this is what I said about the book. This was actually my first urban fantasy book that I've read. I found it brilliantly written, a combination of mystery and horror involving the hero's journey. The world she creates jumps off the page with vivid images and remarkable continuity, certainly a departure from my normal reading diet, dark and fun as I laughed through the book. Catherine, the religion professor in the MAM, said, "Oh my, you stretched me, Molly, when you chose this book. What an imagination, this author. I don't think I'll assign it to my religion class, but a wonderful book for English classes as an example of urban fantasy. Love her descriptions. Beautifully written, even with all the strange creatures and weird happenings." Jane, who's our shoot-from-the-hip Republican millionaire in the group, said, "I love the strong female characters in this book. Minx and Desi, they were both quite deep women. Well, Minx was something other than a human, but quite intriguing. And Desi wants me to read the next book to find out what happens with her. I got the feeling that she was hiding in some way, or perhaps could be transformed back into her former self, which would make Xavier very happy." Abigail, the man with a green thumb, said, "What intrigued me in this book was the interplay between good and evil. Right now we're watching evil play out in the Ukraine in real life. The evil was very disturbing, but I love Xavier and Desi trying to stop it. Never an easy job, as the story shows." Molly says, "Thank you, Angela, for creating this work where an African American stars as the hero and likable clipped angel. Like the others, you said you can write. You go, girl. And thanks to the MAMs for agreeing to read this book with me. We need to read more books written by African American ladies." Priscilla said, "I enjoyed her rendition of heaven. We don't know what heaven will be like, but Angela has created some wonderful possibilities. Except, why did she have the bad guys up there? I didn't think they were allowed. I know it's fiction, but still. Don't you think that St. Peter would have kept them out?" I loved reading this book. So different from our usual books. So crazy with zombies, Lucifer and the fallen angel, Xavier Knight, a real likable guy. It made me laugh. So bizarre, but yes, beautifully written. I think I get why people like this genre. It's a whole different world in there where all kinds of things can happen outside of the ordinary. So if you get the MAMs discussion guide, on one side it will have what I and all of the MAMs think about the book, and then on the other side are some discussion questions. Like here, the author creates a fantastic view of heaven. Describe what you remember, discuss what you thought about her creation. The novel was set in New Orleans post-Katrina. Have you ever been to New Orleans? If so, what was your experience of the city? And how did the setting add to the flavor of the book? This book is a struggle between good and evil. How were they portrayed? What were your reactions to the various characters, both human and non-human? Who do you think had the upper hand? So you can use these discussion questions in your book club to discuss the book. You can find a PDF version of this discussion guide on my website at spiritualseedlings.com. Look in the left-hand column for the MAMs Book Club Index and then scroll down to number 99. This is the number 99 book for the MAMs. Book Club Study Guide video. You can find the PDF versions of these study guides on my website at spiritualseedlings.com. Look for the MAMs Book Club Index on the left side and then scroll down to number 99 for this review. Thank you for joining me.